Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sylvia and my channel is all about art and crafts. So, you know, whether you're a beginner or you just simply enjoy seeing different arts and crafts, then this is your channel. Now, I went out and purchased some embossing powder, of course the glittery ones, and I had an awesome time yesterday playing around with them, and all I bought was the black sparkle embossing powder and the holographic embossing powder. Now, while I was playing around with them, I ended up sort of thinking, well, hang on a minute, there must be a way of me being able to create different colours to put underneath it. And I also got these, and I've had these for a little while now. They're powdered pigments, and so what I did was, and I'll show you, hang on, here's my little palette. What I did was I put a little bit of powder onto my palette, and then I just put a few drops of glycerine into it, mix it all up, and I ended up using it that way. I thought, cool, this is working. Now, unfortunately, this is not the first time I'm doing this video. This is my second go. So, with this card, well, this front of the card, I just used my normal ink pads, and I used the black sparkle on this one and this one, but on this one I used the holographic one, so it sort of dulled it down a little bit, and I used the black around the edges as well. This was my first attempt, and unfortunately the writing didn't come out right, so that was the only issue I had, and I couldn't fix it. I tried to, but I couldn't. So I'm gonna redo them, but I'll just show you the ones that didn't work out. So as you can see, like, this is actually the it's called Red Russet in the Pearl XX powder pigment, and the number on it is 653 if you ever want to get a hold of it. I used that, and then I used the holographic embossing powder over the top, and I thought that came out really, really cool. Now, I'm not sure whether you can actually see all the different colours that are in there, but yeah, it looks pretty awesome. So that was one of them, and I actually did this on pearl cardstock. And then on my black one, and I thought this turned out really cool too, I actually used the red, and I also used the Reflex Violet, which is number 644, on the other side. So I've got two different colours on the butterfly, and again just use the holographic embossing powder. And here I just used my gold ink pad, and I tried to do the same with the writing, and yeah, again it didn't work out, but yeah, you can really see all these different colours in the gold, you know, it's just amazing. And then on this one I just used the black sparkle on the flower, and then I used the purple, the reflex, oh, shall we say Reflex Violet for the butterfly. And again, the writing didn't turn out, so hence I'm doing the video once again. So I've learned a little lesson. So I've got it in my head how I'm going to do it this time, and this time I'm going to do it differently. I'll go back to the way I did it on this card for the writing, and that's using my ink pads. And because we've got black cardstock, what I've actually done is I've cut out a piece of white cardstock, and we'll be putting the writing on that and then just sticking it down on the card. And I'm actually going to show you how I'll be designing them, and then we'll put them together towards the end. So I'm going to move things out of the way because, yeah, we don't want any sort of mess happening here. And hopefully I haven't muddled up my actual cardstock. So just let me double check. No, haven't stuffed it up. Good. That's one good thing. Okay, so when I went down to the scrapbooking place, because I've never used embossing powder before, and I wasn't sure about the inks, so I, of course, asked the question. And she ended up saying to me, she said, well, you can use the Memento ink pad, but it won't work on any cardstock. She said you might end up having to get the stays on. Okay. And then I watched a video last night. The person that I was watching ended up saying, you know, the stays on is alcohol based. I went, hang on a minute. Archival ink. I thought, well, we'll give it a go anyway. And I did. And it works. So, you beauty, I don't have to buy any other ink. Because let's face it, you buy this ink pad, you buy that ink pad, and this ink pad, and that ink pad, and before you know it, how much have you spent on ink pads? So I try and find always ways around things, and I have, because I've got both of them. So with the pearl cardstock, I can use a Memento. When I use my black or my white cardstock, I'm going to need to use the archival ink. Okay? And I've already got glitter on it. How? Okay. We'll just ignore that. We'll put them over to one side because we're going to start off with this one. And I've got the pretty flower stamp, which I got obviously out of one of my magazines because that's how I get my stamps. And what we're going to do is just ink this up. Now I'll pick up my stamp block because I don't want to shake you guys, so just make sure you really juice it up. So you've got plenty on there. And what I should actually do is grab my piece of paper where I use the black embossing powder, and we'll open that quickly, and then I'll quickly add a little bit more ink because apparently I'm very disorganized today. So there you go, disorganized girl, never mind. Okay, I think that's inked up all right. If not, I might actually have to add a bit more ink to this, but we'll see. Okay, and basically towards the bottom, kind of centered, more or less. Press it down, make sure all the ink transfers. Lift it up and grab our embossing powder. sprinkle it upside down, tap, 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 tap. Now I'm going to grab my little paintbrush and just get rid of some of it. It's a bit too much on here because I forgot to condition my card. Oh dearie me. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. And then I'm going to use my mean heat gun. You don't have to have one of these. Any heat gun will do. Just, yeah, this is what I got. So I'm just going to heat it up for a second and heat up the card. Just like that. This heat gun is a little bit difficult to turn off one-handed, but that's okay. It does the trick, and hubby did have a spare, so it's mine now. But as you can see, it's nice and glittery. Okay, so next what I want to do is grab the ink pad again, and what we're going to do is put it around the edges. Now it doesn't matter if it goes like that because it actually gives it special effects. And I try to sort of create those special effects a bit. So, and we'll just pick some of this up, whip it over the top, over to the sides. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, look at that. I've pretty much got all of it off. And basically you want to do this in sections. Like that, and then you just go all the way around, which I'll do in a little bit, because what I'm going to do is I'll pretty much get them all prepared, and then I'll quickly do the rest off camera so I don't take up too much of your time. My goodness, did I just say that? Wow. Okay. Because the only one we're going to do black as well is the white cardstock. With the other one, it's going to go differently. So we'll just get these two out of the way and get them sorted. And then we'll move on to the other one. We'll see. I'm just going to do this over to one side. There we go. Look at that. So basically same thing again, doing the edges. So what I'll do is I'll quickly do them both off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll keep moving along. Back in a second. Okay, so I thought before we do the butterfly, I'd rather do the writing for the card first, only because that way we've got the ink pad side of things done and dusted, and we can go in with the other and make the butterflies look pretty. So again, I'm using my archival ink because I'm going to be going onto this little piece of cardstock. But this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the holographic embossing powder. We'll just put a nice layer on there. Turn it around, give it a couple of flicks on either side, and that'll pretty much do. Get a heat gun. Ow. And that didn't really work. Why? Oh, it did. But not as much as it did last time. So, I'm going to redo it. Simple. Just simple. Guessing I didn't have my stamp juiced up enough. And I wasn't quick enough. So now we're going to make sure it's juiced up. There we go. Another little sparkles. See? And it did come out a lot better than it did on this side. So, okay. So we're going to do the same thing with these two. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll grab one first, which is this one here. And you'll notice that, actually no, I'll do the white one first because then we can go from the archival ink back to the memento. And this is actually a good way of creating several cards, making them slightly different, not by much. And yeah, you've got them always ready. Oh no. Oh, now I've got to try and line it up. Let's just cross our fingers. Yeah. Not happy. You know what? This one I'm going to do completely different. We'll put this one over to one side. We won't talk about that one for the minute. I'll show you how to fix it though. I think. Okay. Give this a quick wipe over. Another quick wipe over. I don't know why I keep having to make mistakes. And silly ones at that. Okay, you are going right there. We won't have that same issue again. We'll grab our Memento ink. Now you probably will find that it'll look completely different on this one than what it did on the other. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Not really. But here goes nothing. It's down. Okay. And we'll go... Oh, God. I am doing really well, aren't I? But I still did it. Yay. Now you will find it's going to look different on this card than what it did on the other. I'll show you the difference. And the only thing that's different is the cardstock. So, and I think it actually looks kind of cool that it's not as dark as that. It just gives it that little bit of a soft look. So, there you go. So we've got those done. Now comes the fun. Now I'm going to pour this all back in again into our little container. Apparently I put the lid back on. I know I've been good. Making sure I don't destroy it. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Let's make more mess. That's the only downside about embossing powder. You make a mess. So we'll quickly wipe this clean so we can move on with our next project called the butterfly. Here we go, there's the butterfly. Now I'm actually going to grab the red russet that I made up. Now, by the way, this is, I don't know if you ever seen like for cake decorators, because I used to be a cake decorator and I had one of these foam bits for my floral work, and because I won't be getting back into it, I sort of thought, well, you know, it's not the sort of thing you can really sell. It's a little bit dirty. Why not make use of it? So I cut a little strip so I can fold it over like so. And then I can go into my little paint mix here. And I can then dab it onto my stamp. Might grab a little bit more. Just like that. One more for good luck. And we'll turn it around. And we'll I'll put it over here. We'll put it down. Once we've decided which spot we're going to put it, lift it up. Put the embossing over the top. Flick, flick, flick. I think I've got enough on there. And then we'll grab a heat gun, switch it on, and off we go. Now, although there wasn't a huge amount of pigment over here, it still makes it look pretty awesome. So there you go. There's number one. Number two. Are we ready? Again, clean up. Now, I'm going to end up having to take it out in the laundry once I'm done and actually give them a bit of a wash with some soapy water in order to get all of the excess paint off, because although I'm using a baby wipe, I'm not wiping it off 100%, but that's fine for the minute. So what I'm going to do, hang on, I'll grab my white cardstock, because this one we're going to do purple or violet, reflex violet. Again, just my little homemade sponger. Come on, a little bit more. I want to make sure we've got plenty on there. Just like that. And then we'll put this one, I'm going to put it this way. Press it down. Now the cool thing is, because the way I've made my mix up, even when it's dry, the pigment will come off, like you'll be able to wipe it off. That's where the embossing powder comes in handy, because it locks it down. So once embossing powder is on there, it doesn't come off. So what I was actually thinking is I might actually end up purchasing just the clear embossing powder for little projects like this. And there we go. Didn't work out too well over this side because apparently I didn't have enough colour on there, but hey, it still looks pretty cool. Now this is the one I really want to do, because I'm going to do the same special effect like I did with the other one. Whoops. Now, I'm going to grab my little cornstarch pouch. Whoops. Try not to make a mess with it. But basically I'm just making sure that it's all nicely done. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to leave the colours on this time as is. And I'll grab my purple, just to ink the one side up, like so. And then I'm going to grab my red russet one. I'm going to go into some of that. And we're going to put this on this side. like so. And then we're just gonna, I'm gonna press it down this way. Just like that. Now I know we haven't got our flower in there yet, and we'll do that in a minute. Here we go. That's on. Oh, that's nice and juicy, beautiful. Just how I wanted it. Got to have at least one card that works out perfectly, right? But then the main important thing is we're having fun. Check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Now, and that's actually given me an idea too for the flowers. I'm going to try something. If it buggers up, it buggers up. But I sort of had an idea. Now that we've got most of that back in there. Okay. I'll sort of clean this stamp a bit. As I say, you're going to end up having to wash it, because all the colours are still on there, see? Because you can't really wipe it off properly, but as I say, just a bit of soapy water and the job's done. Now, our flower, here it is. Look out. Yep. I think I might dry that a bit so it doesn't slide around. Oh, come on, girl. Okay. Now, I've got this gold ink pad here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try, and I'll say try, to just get the leaves. I know it's kind of a little bit tricky, but I reckon I can do it. Yep. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go over the whole lot, like so, because it's going to make life easier, instead of trying to hit the other stuff. Okay. And then I'm going to grab some of the purple. I'm going to put that on the flower, like so. I think that's about right. And then I'm going to grab the red. I'm going to do this little one over here, like so. Yes, I got some on the leaves, but that's okay. And then hang on, it's supposed to be that way, I think. Yeah. And then we'll just press this down. Let's see what happens, eh? Okay. Oh, it doesn't want to give it back to me. Look at that. I'll grab this quickly. Pour it over. Like so. Wow. Check it out. Wow, that looks pretty cool. So while we're having so much fun, I'm going to pour this back in here, because I try not to leave it out the whole time and try and reuse it, because yeah, I end up making more mess, so just put it back in there. Now with this one, what I'm actually going to do This is going to be fun. I'm going to use the macro pearl, because yeah, I've got a macro pearl here as well, which is 652. This is a gold, it's called Solar Gold, which is 691. And it's all in the Pearl EX. So you've got the pigment number, you'll be good to go. And I'll use the Reflex Violet and the Red Russet. And what we're actually going to do is this. You watch. You're just going to go, holy crap, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to put the gold on. Like so. And we'll grab our powder. We'll heat this. Then we'll grab the Red Russet. There we go. Now that looks wild. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly clean up, because next we're going to put the cards together. So I've got to make sure there's no mess floating around, so we don't get even more glitter on everything, because I think we've been a little bit glittered out today. Anyway, back in a second. Okay, so hopefully I didn't make you wait for too long. I don't think I did, but anyhow, let's get stuck into it. So I'm going to do this one first, and kind of got myself well ahead, and I already put all the tape down, so I just got to go through the torture of taking the backing off. Now, two of them are going to be pretty much the same, but one will not. And of course, I'm going to leave that one till last, because I reckon that's going to be the winner. That's going to be the prettiest one ever, because we did a pretty awesome job on it. I reckon anyway. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you think we did a pretty awesome job, or do you think we need to improve our skills a little bit more? I mean, don't get me wrong, I won't be hurt by it, because as I said before, embossing things is a whole new thing for me. It's something I've never worked with, never had the opportunity until now. So I'm just as much of a learner as everybody else here, probably. There we go, card number one done. Gee, that wasn't difficult. That's right, this one we were going to fix up, weren't we? Let's fix it. I'll grab my little weapon out. Oh, I already had it out, I think. Although, I don't think I want to use the black. I think I want to use the purple. Now, what does this purple look like? Let's have a look. Let me have a look at the other one. I think this one, because this one's a little bit more brighter or darker, whichever way you want to look at it. So basically what we're going to do, and I'm going to put my other glasses on, because I've been so naughty and I've been wearing the wrong glasses the whole time while I was doing this. And I'm going to try very hard to keep my head out of the camera for a change. Yeah, right. Okay. So what we're going to do, we'll just go over the writing, like so. But there's going to be something else that I'm going to do. But I'm going to have to get the, oh no, it's in here, that's right. Because we're going to use another gel pen in order to create a shadow, which means how we've got double here. Whoa. It's meant to be that way, right? Come on. It's meant to be that way. We're just going to disguise it, that's all. That we did a boo-boo. It's meant to be that way. So what I'll do is I'll quickly do this off camera because it'll take me a little while. I'm not very quick at this, so, and I don't want to rush it because I don't want any more boo-boos. No more boo-boos. Catches in a sack. There we go. Job done. See? It's got a bit of a shadow to it. It was meant to be that way. So, card number 1 done. Okay, we've done boo-boos on it. Let's just not concentrate on those. Okay, next card. It's this one. What we're going to do with this one, because I want it to have black paper sort of in the background a little bit. So what we're going to do is take the tape off this. If you were to work out how long it takes me to take the backing off the double-sided tape compared to how long the video took, I reckon majority of it's probably taking the tape off. Because the tape's just such a nightmare. Oh, I don't know. Okay, here we go. No more whinging and complaining. Just get on with it. Just get the job done. About there. Close enough. Okay. This one here, I put some foam tape down. Double-sided foam tape. Because I want it a little bit raised. And that can go about there. Just like that. See? Isn't that gorgeous? I'm happy with it. I reckon it looks pretty cool. Beautiful. That's number 2 done. Number 3. lucky last, the prettiest one of all, with a little bit of modification. Anyway, take the double-sided tape, the backing off. The dreaded task. Thank you. Now, because I've got a piece sort of hanging over a little bit, I'm just flicking it back, like so. And then we'll just keep taking it off, bit by bit. But the one thing you got to realise too is, like, you know, using exactly the same material, you can create different looking cards. You know, because each of them is slightly different. Okay, one more than the other, but hey, who's counting? Alright, let's put this one down right about there. Just like that. And well, this one again has some foam tape on it. And yes, I've actually chopped this back so that it would fit better in here without covering everything up. Because after all that hard work, I didn't want to cover it up. But what I do want to do is, of course, get one of my gel pens out. Because it's going to make life so much easier. And I'm going to use an orange. I'm going to use an orange. And I'm just going to create what could possibly look like. Actually, I'll just ruffle it up a bit. Make it look like it's embossed with an orange colour. Oh dear. But yeah, as you can see, just by changing just the little tiniest thing, you can create a whole new card. And really, when you think about it, you could do the background on several cards and just change the wording. And you've got different cards for different occasions, you know. Obviously, you wouldn't want to give the same card to the same person every single time, but, you know, it'll be a nice card to give to other people. So, you know, I mean, as I always say, don't limit yourself with what you're doing. I mean, I know I've had a bit of a struggle, you know, being creative lately, and I just couldn't come up with anything. And yeah, after having gone for a drive to the scrapbooking place that we've got here in Australia, in Perth, everything just ended up changing. And I was talking to the owner of the store, you know, and she reminded me, she goes, just have fun. I'm like, yeah, I keep saying that, but I'm not doing that. Okay. Well, and there you have it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. And the good thing is, although we've used black cardstock for the front, we've stuck it on white cardstock, so you can, still write something here and, when you look at all three of them, they all look slightly different. Every single one of them. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It probably has been a lengthy one once again. My apologies. I don't know how to do quick videos. That is certain. It's guaranteed. However, as long as you got useful information out of it and you've learned something from it, I'll be happy. So, if you haven't done so already, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. And if you think other people should see this video, please feel free to share it, because that'll make me happy. I'll catch you guys next week. Have an awesome weekend and an awesome week, and be sure to be creative. Bye.